Good morning, and welcome back to Take Apart Engineering. Today, we're going to be building an X-Wing fighter from a Star Wars movie using various office supply parts. For this project, you're going to need the following materials. You're going to need 2 large paper binders, 2 small paper binders. You're going to need 4 pens, ballpoint pens with caps, and you're going to need 1 Sharpie. I have 2 here, but I only need 1. And then you'll need a sleeve of staples. You'll need hot glue. And you're going to need some Legos. So let's take the Lego part and set those so you can see them. All right, so once you gather your parts, let's get started. So let's set some things aside so we have some room to work. All right, now the purpose of this is to assemble an X-Wing fighter model. Obviously, it's a model of an X-Wing fighter using office supply parts. All of these parts are available at your local department store. The difference is when I made this one, I used a pencil sharpener. But, see, we're trying to get it with a slope. I ran out of pencil sharpeners, so I'm going to substitute building that sloped cockpit area out of Legos. Okay, so let's get started. So let's set aside our X-Wing model. The first thing we want to do is we want to take our binder clips and we want to remove the handles from the metal part of the body. And to do that, we squeeze together the chrome part and just remove them from the binder clip. Do that on all of your binder clips. There's the large ones. Do the same thing with the small ones. All right, we've removed all of our chrome handles from our binder clips. So the next thing we want to do is we want to replace the large ones that were in the big binder clip. We want to put those large ones into the smaller because those are actually going to become our X-Wings. So we just do the same process in reverse. Squeeze together. And put those back into the smaller binder clip this time. There's the 2 large clips. Now the smaller binder clips, you can just set those aside because we're not going to need those. Next up, we need to have a base. So we're going to use one of our large binder clips as our base. You can see we're going to glue our Sharpie onto our base with the hot glue. So let's take our base and our Sharpie. Make sure that your lid is on tight, and you're going to glue that right on top. I try to line up if you look, as far as where to put it. I try to line up this line between the cap and the body of the Sharpie. I try to line that up with this part of the binder clip just to try to keep it even and know where exactly it goes. So let's take some hot glue. I put some hot glue on our binder clip. Remember, this is hot glue, so if you touch your finger on it, you're going to feel it. You don't want to burn yourself. And you're going to place that on. And notice I put the clip facing up. All right, that gives us our body of our X-Wing. You can see I've gotten some glue on my fingers. It's warm and sticky. Pull some of that off. Keep it nice and neat. All right, now our next step is to take and put on our staples, so we have some place to glue our top motors on. So let's set our other large binder clip aside. And let's take our staples. And we want to put the staples from the black part, covering over our clip. So we're going to take that, and all we want to do is break off a section of those staples, that row of staples, and then we're going to glue those onto our Sharpie. Right on top. You want to keep that straight so that everything fits up nice and neat. Now our next step is we want to glue on our X-Wings onto the body of our Sharpie. So we're going to glue those right across here. So let's take a hot glue gun. And you want to glue those right across the back, lining up the back edge of our binder with the back edge of our staple. Keep everything straight. And you want to look at the side so that I keep my X-Wing at the 90-degree angle to my base. Right. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Line those up. One thing via the 90-degree angle, so that your X comes out even. Let that cool just a little. Let that hot glue cool. As you can see, it's still tacky, but it's coming off on my fingers. Let that hot glue cool a little bit. Our next step is to place our engines, which is going to be the caps of our pins. So we have 4 pins. We're going to use the caps and set the pins aside. They're still usable. And we're going to place our caps right on top of the edge of our staple. And our binder clip. We're going to line up the back edge of the cap with the back edge of the staple. So let's lay a little bit of hot glue. And lay our cap right inside. Lining that up. And then we want to do the same thing on the other side. We want to lay that on this side. Use our hot glue. And then place our cap. Let that hot glue cool just a little bit, just so nothing will move. You can even blow on it, cool it off. And then we're going to flip over our X-wing. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom side, placing our caps or engines on top. So let's use our hot glue. Place the cap or engine right on the back side. Do the same thing on the other side. Now notice I'm using a lot of hot glue. Probably don't have to, but I'm trying to make sure I have enough area of hot glue there to make sure it sticks. And you'll notice I made a mistake. I have these two facing down. These I have opposite, which they should be even. They should all be on the bottom side. So, to fix that, I would need to heat up my glue and turn it. So make sure you line those up the way you want them the first time. Alright, now we have our engines. We have our X-wings on. We need to place our cockpit on. On this original one that I did, I used the pencil sharpener that had an angle to it. On this one, I'm going to use Legos. I had some Legos laying around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these together to make a wedge. And then that is going to sit right at the front of that. You'll put that up ready against the end, and we're going to glue that right on top. So let's put some glue across the front of that. And we're going to place the Lego wedge right on top. And that finishes up our X-Wing fighter. Now, you can use Legos for the cockpit, or you could use a pencil sharpener, or you could use something else. The idea is that you want to have a slope on the front because that's your windshield area of your cockpit. Now, if you wanted to, you could go back and take this model of your X-Wing fighter, and at this point, go back and use acrylic paint to paint a color scheme on it based on what the color scheme of the original X-Wing fighter in the Star Wars movie. In this video, we're just going to show the assembly. If you'd like me to do another video that shows painting this model, then leave me a comment, and we'll see if we can have enough interest to do that. So that's our X-Wing fighter assembly. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Remember, you're going to need 2 large binder clips, 2 small binder clips for pin caps, a Sharpie, hot glue, and a row of staples. And you can modify this however you want to. If you do modify it, leave me a picture in the comment section. I'd be curious to see what kind of design change you come up with. So hopefully, you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. Subscribe and click that notification bell so that you can see additional content when it becomes available. From Take Apart Engineering, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you for the next video.